former Barrie North student Everett Horner. In 2019, Everett was the recipient of the prestigious Loran Scholar Award. He is currently in his 5th year of civil environmental engineering at the University of Alberta, but is here tonight to honor one of our most deserving Barrie North teachers.
As a graduating scholar, I have the privilege of recognizing a teacher who was instrumental in my success and who played a pivotal role in my leadership development. Barrie North is blessed with numerous great educators, and I have to say that it was incredibly difficult to nominate only one teacher for this award. Of the many teachers here who I remember fondly, I would like to spotlight Mrs. McPhail, Mr. Wiggins, Mr. Emsley, Mr. Kadziorski, Ms. Weening, and Ms. Corcoran. Thank you all for your commitment to excellent teaching and true dedication to your students. I really mean when I say I will never forget it. When considering teachers for this award, however, there was admittedly one who stood out from the very beginning. It is a true honor and privilege to stand before you tonight to recognize someone who is not only a remarkable educator, but also someone who has made an indelible mark on my life and the life of countless others. This teacher's impacts reach beyond the confines of the classroom and even far beyond the fence around the school. In fact, I could reasonably say that this teacher is the reason I ended up in Edmonton, Alberta, and had to fly back to speak with you this evening. Please indulge me for a few moments while as I recognize a mentor, a guide, and a constant beacon of inspiration and encouragement, Mrs. Amy Reesor. My first interaction with Mrs. Reesor occurred before I even set foot in Barrie North. Her warmth and kindness welcomed me to the school, turning what could have been an intimidating transition into an exciting new adventure. From the very first impression, I knew I was in the presence of someone truly special. In grade 9, I was fortunate enough to have Mrs. Reesor's learning enrichment class as my homeroom, and it was there that I first witnessed her unique ability to ignite a passion for learning within her students. Her dedication was evident in every lesson as she pushed all of us to embrace learning for the sake of learning. Throughout my time at Barrie North, Mrs. Reesor was more than just a teacher to me. She was a constant source of advice and assistance, whether it was academic guidance or life advice. She was always there, offering her wisdom with a caring heart. Her unwavering support provided me with the confidence to overcome challenges and to pursue my goals more than I thought I could. One of the ways Mrs. Reesor has impacted my life is through the glowing reference letters she's written for me. Going out of her way to distill and share all that is good about her students is one of the many ways that Mrs. Reesor's dedication to her students extends beyond the classroom walls. More than just myself, Mrs. Reesor was a central figure in the high school journey of most of my closest friends. We trusted and respected her advice on everything from school to family matters. And I always felt that no matter what we might get ourselves into, and if you ask some of the teachers around here, we did get ourselves into a number of things, Mrs. Reesor would be the one to sit down and hear our side of the story. And I firmly believe that I am not unique in that sense. I think Mrs. Reesor would be and is that person for every student who comes into her office, and I think her move into the guidance office highlights that reality perfectly. To top it all off, it was Mrs. Reesor herself who prompted me to apply for the Loran Award back in 2018. Her belief in my potential and her encouragement to seize opportunities that I might have otherwise overlooked set me on a path that would shape my future in unimaginable ways. While this year's applications have closed, I highly encourage any of you graduating in 2025 to apply for the Loran Award next fall. I mean, I'm here, I can't not say it. In 5 years, it could be you standing up here recognizing one of the teachers who has touched you in this very building. I'm grateful to be the one honoring Mrs. Reesor tonight. I'm confident that there are many past and present students who could share similar stories of how she impacted their lives. So without further ado, please join me in recognizing Mrs. Reesor for her outstanding contributions to education and for the profound positive influence she has had and continues to have at Barrie North. Thank you.